Hello everyone, this is Katya again, and I welcome you to a new video that I would like to share with you tonight as just a brief video about some things that I've been thinking about and I thought that you might find interesting. I wanted to also show you that it's very warm today here in the desert Southwest, and so I am wearing my girl shorts, which I really love, from Forever 21. You also have my Steve Madden sandals on. This is kind of a modified pump with this nice work on it. And I also have this tube top, which I also got from Forever 21. I really like them because their sizes fit me very well. So thank you again for coming to my video channel and spending a little time with me this evening. I wanted to just say a little bit about some things, like I said, that have been on my mind and that I think might be of interest to many of you, I hope. Recently, I saw a video by a very beautiful young trans woman, and it was a kind of sad video because she was basically saying that she had been through a lot of difficulties in her life recently. And at one place in her video, she made the point that she never felt that she was perfect, that there was always something missing, that she never really succeeded in fulfilling all of the goals that she had set for herself. And so, to me, it was very sad watching this very beautiful young trans woman because, as I said, she was very beautiful and her fashion sense was impeccable and she seemed like a very nice person, and so there were so many things that were going right for her, and yet she felt that she wasn't living up to some kind of ideal standard. Now, I think that many of us who are cross-dressers or transsexuals or transgendered people have had this experience, and probably many other people who don't fall within any of those categories have had the experience of having some kind of picture in mind about, well, here's how I'm supposed to look. Maybe it's my desire to be able to pass as a woman, or to be able to date someone and have a relationship with that person where it's as close to a kind of normal man-woman relationship as possible, whatever it may be. I think that many people fall into what I think is a trap. And the reason it's a trap is, maybe the best way of understanding it is, there was a very famous saying that has been attributed to Voltaire, I believe, and the gist of it, I can't remember exactly how it goes, but the gist of it is that the enemy of the good is not the evil, but the perfect. The perfect is the enemy of the good, not the evil. And so what Voltaire was trying to say here is that sometimes it's our over-idealization or our quest for perfection, which really doesn't exist on this world, certainly in this world, not right now. Our quest for perfection can keep us from doing things that are very good because we're not satisfied with them. And I think that many of us can feel that. I may wish that I had begun cross-dressing earlier when I was much younger than I am now. I may wish that I had, more breast size or something like that. Or maybe I wish that my makeup was better, or that I had more expertise in that. For somebody else, it may be, this person may feel that she doesn't have the body type that she wants. Maybe she feels that she's overweight, or maybe she's too skinny, as the case may be. That might be something. Or it might be a person who feels that, well, I'm way too old to start this. Or it might be somebody who says, well, I wish that I could really do a better job picking out clothes or accessories or moving like a woman, or whatever it may be. And so I think that all of these things are very easy, and in that it's very easy to fall into a trap. And so how do we get out of that, or how do we try to avoid that? Well, I don't know for certain. I simply could maybe suggest something that in my own experience has helped me a little bit, and maybe there are other people who could say more about it. But sometimes I think that what's interesting is that when we're looking at somebody else, sorry, I have to adjust that tin again. When we're looking at somebody else and wishing that we had what that person does, maybe better makeup or a better, more desirable figure or whatever, somebody is looking at us and thinking the same thing and saying, well, I wish I had what this person had. That is, the person is looking at you perhaps and saying, well, this person is really good at something that I wish I was better at. And so each one of us, I think, is probably desiring something that we don't have, and yet somebody is looking at us and desiring something that we have that they don't. And so when we put that into perspective, maybe that helps. And maybe it suggests that we could help each other more in trying to avoid this kind of over-perfectionism or something like that. And so the last thing that I would say about it is just kind of a story from when I was a much younger person, but I remember one time that I went into a sort of a conservatory gardens at night with some friends of mine, and we really shouldn't have been there, but we were young and kind of wild, and we'd been drinking, and so we were running all over the place and doing what young people often do. That's part of growing up. And I remembered that it was towards the end of the summer, and so there were a lot of late summer flowers in bloom, but of course it was night and you couldn't really see them. And then a little bit of moonlight came out and you could see all these different beautiful flowers. There were the traditionally beautiful flowers, the flowers like roses, red roses that we associate with beauty, but then there were all these other different kinds of flowers, like snapdragons or marigolds or gladiols or whatever. There were all these different beautiful exotic plants that you could just see a little bit of in this glimmer of moonlight. And I remember thinking to myself, well, how beautiful it will be tomorrow when the sun comes out and you can see all of these things in their completely vivid colors in full broad daylight. And so sometimes I think that our community is like that. We have a lot of different people. There are a lot of different ways of expressing feminine beauty. There's the standard way where you're talking about a cisgen person, a very beautiful woman. And so we all know examples of that, like Beyonce or someone like that. But there are other ways in which feminine beauty can be expressed. Drag queens can be very beautiful in their femininity, or cross-dressers, or a transgender person, or a transsexual person, and all the shades of difference, the very different shades of difference that you can find within that spectrum. And so I hope that we will look at that, and when we feel that, well, there's something else that somebody else has that we want, let's also keep in mind that there probably is something that each one of us has. Maybe it's a good personality. Maybe it's an ability to listen. Maybe it's a very intuitive feminine sense that somebody else wants. They're all different kinds of gifts that different feminine people have that we can share with each other and try to help each other instead of tearing each other down. And then as more light comes in, more of that beauty will come out. So that's what I wanted to say tonight. And again, I hope I haven't gone on too long, and I apologize for having to keep adjusting the tint on my screen, but I really do appreciate your patience, and I hope this will be helpful to you. And so I hope that next time we can talk about some more things. I hope there will be more videos like this, and I hope everybody has a good night. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.